Fresh off a legal victory last week, Luigi Mangione's attorneys are now asking the judge to kick the death penalty. That's right, they want it dismissed from his federal murder case. In a recent filing, his lawyers argue that authorities prejudiced his case by turning his arrest into a Marvel movie spectacle. They cited statements made by the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi and this moment where armed officers walked alongside of the 27-year-old on that Manhattan pier. Mangione's defense team, which is led by former Manhattan prosecutor Karen Friedman-Agnifilo, claimed that the decision by the AG's office to make this a death penalty case was based on politics, not on merit. In their 114-page filing, Mangione's lawyers had this to say in part, quote, "There's a high bar to dismissing an indictment due to pretrial publicity. However, there's never been a situation remotely like this one where prejudice has been so great against a death-eligible defendant." So, could this latest motion tip the scales of justice? Will Luigi continue on the winning streak? We know he had those 2 state terrorism charges dismissed last week in New York State court. Let's talk about someone who practices both in state and federal court and knows Karen Agnifilo and her husband, Mark Agnifilo, who I saw in a recent filing seems to have been joining this defense team on this case. Mario Gallucci is with us this morning. Mario, what do you think? Do you think their filing holds merit?
So, you know, Mark and Karen are very, very bright. I've told you that when we did the P. Diddy trial. They're trying to do anything they could possibly do to get the death penalty off this case. And they're saying that it was politically motivated, that, you know, it's against his constitutional rights, that the jury pool has been completely destroyed as a result of the publicity surrounding the surrender. I believe Mayor Adams actually participated in the surrender of Luigi Mangione. So they're arguing that he doesn't have any rights as a result of this. His constitutional due process rights were violated as a result of the spectacle they made out of his arrest. The perp walk, you know, all of that is going against him. And as a result of that, he can't get a fair trial. And if he can't get a fair trial, how could you possibly have the death penalty here? And that's the argument they're going to make. I don't know if they're going to win that argument because it is a death penalty case.
Right. Well said, Mario. Let's go back in time and listen to a little bit of what Karen Friedman-Agnifilo said at one of the hearings and talking about the problem of the pretrial publicity.
I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he's entitled to a presumption of innocence.
Okay, so Mario, in terms of the safeguards, what do you do? You're Luigi's lawyers, as you've said, you've told us before how intelligent and seasoned these attorneys are, and I'm wondering if now with which really was a victory that Mark Agnifilo got in Diddy's case with the, you know, verdict that was had on the least serious of the charges. I wonder if now he's joining in on this one to help his wife. I know they practice together. What are some of the other things you think we might be seeing them do to protect Luigi against any other unfair prejudices that may arise in this pretrial process?
And so they're doing it right now by getting all of this out into the public. As we discussed earlier on the show with the social media, they're doing the same thing on our side. The defense has to get their story out there. And they're doing a very good job of that. We're discussing what they're doing. We're discussing what, you know, that they got the terrorism counts dropped in front of Judge Carroll, I believe it was, in the state case. And they're getting that out into the public. So every day the public is seeing Luigi in a better light every single day. They're getting ahead in this case. And that's their job, and that's what they're doing. They're very good at doing that. They're very good at trying to get ahead.
Yes, they certainly are. And Mario, it's no secret, Luigi Mangione has a massive following. I was saying earlier, it surprised me that Barry Morphew would have a following or fans, but he does. And apparently, Luigi's fan base is growing bigger by the day. I mean, it was massive, but, you know, as we keep, you know, following the various court dates, it just seems to continue to grow. I would think prosecutors, Mario, would be concerned. Do you?
So yeah, when I was a prosecutor, I was always concerned about something like that. Myself on this case, I got over 1,000 hits on my own social media account. People wanting me to defend them, Mario and Luigi. I was getting that all the time. So yes, that is it is a concern for a prosecutor, and the prosecutor also, they can't get ahead of it. They're not supposed to be commenting to the press. They're not supposed to be shaping it. They're supposed to seek justice, not a conviction. So, while Mark and Karen are out there pumping away, the prosecution's got to put the brakes on what they can say. They've already said too much. And I think that you're going to see them remain silent here and let this just play out in the courts.
Sure, a great insight, Mario. Well, you let us know if they add you. They could still add you to the team. We know we're not close to trial quite yet, and there is a Luigi in your life. It's your dog, for anybody who doesn't know. Vito and Luigi, can see them on Mario's social media. Mario, great insight from you as per usual. Thank you so much for everything this morning. We'll see you soon.